Welcome to episode 2 of Banter with the Bear with me, your host, Stevie Bears. Episode number 2, we're going to do something a little bit different. We're still going to have some banter, some fun, and some laughs, but, something that's not a laughing matter is our health, in particular my health. So we thought we would bring somebody on to talk about fitness and nutrition and doing all the fun stuff that I really need to get my ass in gear with. So without further ado, I want you guys to meet my friend Chris Nuñez.
Thanks for having me here, Stevie.
You're very welcome. What's happening?
Not much, buddy. Just here for you. Here to try to help out any way I can.
I appreciate that, man. So you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so my background, I guess, start my childhood. Grew up wrestling, which I think is one of the, if not the best sport there is in the world. As far as overall health, everything you get out of it, from mental health to just strength, cardio, conditioning. Served in the military. 4 years I was in the Army. Went through lots of different training. Used to lead soldiers and PT and in combat. But was really big into PT. Always had super high scores. With everything we did, normal PT stuff is.
So for those of us that don't understand that
physical training,
PT,
and usually you're tested on push-ups, pull-ups, sit-ups, running. 2 miles was the standard in the Army.
What are you expected to run 2 miles in?
Oh, back then, man, I think it was under 16 or 17 minutes. I would do mine in 11:30 at my best shape.
Like 11:30 in the morning?
11:30, yeah. I wish. Everything was always early in the Army. But that's kind of where my passion for, I guess, like group exercising and training with other people started really kind of taking off. And then the knowledge of how to train everybody, especially with everyone having different body types and being at different levels in their fitness, you kind of have to cater to that. So I learned a lot there. And then I became a personal trainer after many years of being out of the military. My body started going to shit. My mental health started going to shit. I left the military. I believe I was about 180 pounds. And then 2010, 2011, even 2012. I think 2012 I was probably my heaviest. Got up to about 250 pounds. I'm 5'11", so that was a lot of weight. Something I wasn't used to. I wrestled. High school was 160 pounds. So I got into personal training to fix myself first. I wasn't even thinking about a career or other people really at the time. I just wanted to not feel like shit all the time. And what started as a 6-month course led to eventually 2 years. I did this school in Sacramento through a program called NASM, the National Association of Sports Medicine, I believe it stands for. So I did end up doing 2 years and got a bunch of knowledge and performance training for athletes, corrective exercises to help people with muscle imbalances or anything that was, kind of holding them back from reaching their goals, as far as, their body holding them back. I got certified in nutrition, and then I started training people. Started doing it at the Yuba City Racket Club. Was a trainer there for a while, and 2000. Well, now we're skipping ahead a few years. This is like 2020, 2019, and then COVID happened, and everywhere was shutting down. So I started training people out of my garage. Started a little small business, nothing crazy. Called it Garage Grunt Fitness, and that's where my passion kind of grew. I started really seeing, the knowledge I had, really being able to use it and seeing the changes in the people I was training, and helped a lot of people reach their goals. And then, once my kind of mindset for training at the time was, I don't want to train people forever. I don't, if you're training with me for over a year, I'm not doing a very good job. I want to train you up, get your body healthy, and have you go on your way, and with enough knowledge and hopefully willpower to continue your own goals, fitness goals.
Yeah, you're basically helping people to help themselves, right?
Yeah.
Teaching them to be able to, be there without you.
Exactly.
So yeah, like we know each other a long time. Probably 9-10 years. Yeah. Yeah, and then obviously I go to that gym. I'm a member of the Racket Club, and I bump into you quite frequently, and I've done a couple of sessions at your garage, but I kind of I'm doing little bits here and there. It's not enough. It has to be a whole collective effort with the nutrition, the sleep, the motivation, all of that stuff. Obviously, I started a new business. It's taken up a lot of my time. I've a new baby. Yep. I'm not making excuses, but these are thank you. Not making excuses, but like as humans,
life happens.
Yeah, life happens. But I mean, I know myself as humans, and especially me, we'll always make excuses, find the excuse for something that we don't want to do. And usually the workout is one of those things. I used to love running, boxing, all of that stuff, and I was motivated by it. And the hardest thing is now to, get up and get into the gym and find the time to do that. But as one of my good friends pointed out to me, he said, make time to be healthy, or you'll have to make time to be sick. So I don't know. I'll be honest with everybody that's watching. It's like I'm the heaviest I've ever been. I'm just over 240 pounds. I've never been that in my life. I'm not, eating right. I eat okay, but again, it's just not enough. I need some consistency. I feel like when we talked off camera, when I asked you to do this, it was to be held accountable for this. So, like, we will figure that out. We'll get onto a program. You're going to train me twice a week, and I'm going to, give it a good go.
That's going to be the hardest thing that I would tell my clients is, I can help you here when you're with me, but you have to stay on top of these things when no one's around, right? Doing the right thing when no one's looking, kind of thing. And I always start with telling people, it's baby steps. You got to start building these habits up to where it's just part of your life again, and then getting up early and going to the gym, and whether it's a hard workout or an easy workout, your mind, your body's ready for it, and then it gets to the point where when you're not doing it, you feel weird, you know, you
Missing
crave it,
something.
you
You're
miss
missing
it. Yeah,
something.
exactly.
So that's kind of where I was with the cold plunges. I was doing that for a while. Still do every so often. I did one yesterday. The one before that was probably a week before that. But there was at a time where I was training heavily, and I just craved that cold plunge at the end of it. It wasn't like it's horrible being in there and the thought of getting in to do it, but the feeling that you get after is the same as a good workout.
Yeah.
Like when we go on tour and stuff like that, that's what I do. I go out running. You know, I haven't done that in a while, but quite often I'd be running around the city, and right before we go play, or in the morning after the hotel, or you know, after breakfast or whatever it is, and it makes you feel good. But my thing is now is I need to make time for it, and then be held accountable for it. So same thing with the mental health. It's like everything goes hand in hand, you know.
Sure does.
Feeling good about yourself, and you know, aspiring to be better. So that's my thing right now, really. So I know we're going to do this podcast, and then we're going to get you on again back down the road, and then see where I'm at. But you had said something to me off camera about what's the that calculator thing that you want me to do.
So the Racket Club has what's called an in-body machine, and it gets your visceral fat, your bone density, your muscle density, and all your limbs, your overall fat percentage, and it gives you a printout of all of that, so you can, you know,
Compare it.
keep track and compare it. It's a pretty good machine. It's pretty accurate. I've used it a bunch, and that's kind of where we'll start. That, and with building like the easy habits, like your sleep. Sleep has to be the number one. It really is. Making sure you're getting enough sleep, and that you're kind of going to bed around the same times as much as you can. You know, I know having the business, having kids, that is tough, but that's another game changer. That once you start doing that, you know, your body's gonna want to keep doing that. You know.
Yeah, I'm pretty good on my sleep at the moment. You know, the whole thing with the blue light and everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so my phone automatically at 10 o'clock it just goes on do not disturb, on silent.
That's good.
I don't have the phone in the bedroom. I'd probably put something on the TV and set a timer on it and fall asleep watching a documentary or something like that. So like, I do get good sleep. The baby at the moment is sleeping right during the night, so you know, I'm not woken up in the middle of the night or anything like that. But sleep is one thing. The diet is another thing. Can you talk to me? Obviously, you're going to make a personalized plan for me, and my thing is, you know, being on the road, you're going to eat just so much shit. It's like you kind of eat whatever you get. You know, having the business here, you're, you know, back and forth. It's just quick food all the time, you know. So I'd be down for meal prep, something like that.
Yeah.
Obviously, you want to get your proteins.
Yeah, I've never been real good at meal preps. I hate reheating food. So for me personally, if I'm you know, I'm in a situation where it's eat or eat crappy, I just won't eat. You know, and it takes a while to get there, but eating, making sure that your body isn't fighting what you're eating, right? So processed food, if you're eating processed food, if you're eating junk food, not only is your body trying to do what it normally does with moving around vitamins and making sure everything's working properly, well, it's detoxing, it's fighting off these chemicals, and so it's never at 100%, right? So your body's constantly fighting that. So instead of repairing cells or repairing muscle tissue, your body's like, oh, I got to fight off these French fries, or I got to fight off, whatever you just ate. So eating clean doesn't have to mean, eating bad, like steaks and eggs and all. I mean, so many foods are good and good for you. It's just, again, those habits, breaking those habits of putting that toxic food in your body, because your body does something that's called toxic retention, I believe, is what it calls. And that's, when you're eating that stuff all the time, your body can't get rid of it fast enough. And so it just stays in your body. And that's where you start getting inflammation and anxiety, depression, all these things. It starts affecting the systems in your body to where, you may be working out and doing that, but your body's never going to be where it should be, because it's always fighting off these toxins, and that'll cause bloating, and in particular, like gut health. That's super important. The healthier your gut is, the healthier your immune system is, and the better blood flow. Even your body's able to work the way it's supposed to. So we'll start with baby steps. Eat. I always recommend to my clients, eat as far as protein, and eat the foods you like. Right? If you're not a fish eater, don't eat fish. If you like chicken more, like, have at it. One of my teachers always told me that, the bacon's not bad for you, but bad bacon is bad for you. So if you're going to have, these foods, if you're going to eat a steak, make sure it's good, grass-fed, no hormones, no nitrates, all these bad things that are in the food. Try to get the stuff that doesn't have that. And then...
Would you be eating, like, organic fruit and veg?
Yeah, I try to, as much as I can. Yeah, we New Earth here in Yuba City, we shop there a lot. I try to, as much as I can, have the organic vegetables and fruit in my home, because you're not just it's not just the extra chemicals that they're using to grow the food. It's all the pesticides that are in that, and a lot of it doesn't come out. You can wash it as much as you want, but that stuff's not going to come out. So again, I always recommend, hey, whatever proteins you're kind of, if you don't like to eat a lot of steak, fine, but animal protein is, in my opinion, still the best type of protein you can have over plant. You get so many other vitamins, your B vitamins, and that's what our bodies are meant to eat. And then as far as like carbs, again, there's good carbs, there's bad carbs. Good carbs are vegetables and fruits, good things for you. We're really not supposed to eat, especially the bread that we have here in America. It's so pumped full of, bleaches and all kinds of stuff. If we can stay away from that as much as you can, rice. So I always recommend, whatever vegetables you like to eat. I try to keep it colorful, because that usually means they have more nutrients in you, right? So nutrient-dense food is always the best way to go. And then whatever fruits you like, mix it up if you can. But man, as long as you're eating, an apple over a candy bar, or that's always better for you.
Yeah. Now, obviously, you've got kids and stuff. You have a lovely family, but your whole family are eating that way?
Oh, yeah.
I know it's hard with the kids, and I want chicken nuggets, and I want fucking SpaghettiOs or whatever it is.
And we do, I'm not gonna lie, we do eat some fast food every now and then, but when we do, it's usually In-N-Out. We're big fans of In-N-Out.
So for people that aren't in California, what's In-N-Out?
In-N-Out is a world famous hamburger joint with I think
the freshest of vegetables. They do everything fresh, there on the spot.
Super fresh meat. The the potatoes are cut and sliced, there.
There's nothing frozen. They don't have any freezers.
Nothing
in
frozen. It is Christian owned, which I personally like. But as far as fast food, I think it's the best option. We will do some Wendy's every now and then, but we haven't eaten McDonald's in a long time. Burger King, same thing. There's just too much. I mean, McDonald's French fries have more poison than a pack of cigarettes do. It's crazy the amount of poison that's in our food and causes a lot of the issues we have.
Yeah, no, totally. But then there's the issue of, like, when you look at think of McDonald's, you say, okay, well, it's junk food. It's exactly what it says in the tin, so to speak. But then there's other stuff that's readily available in the supermarket that has the same amount of shit, whether it's preservatives. I remember one time years and years ago, I bought hamburger buns, I think it was, hamburger buns and hot dog buns in Walmart, and I threw them in the cupboard because I was about to have a barbecue, and then I forgot all about them. And then when I was moving the house 7 months later, I opened the cupboard and there wasn't a bit of mold or anything on them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is in that? The fact that they are still, like, edible.
The long list of ingredients on the back. Yeah. That's what my wife gets on me about that. We're in the store and it's like, taking too long. We gotta get out of the store. I'm like, I don't care. I'm reading all the ingredients on all this food before I spend my money on it. And it's just another habit you have to force yourself, to do. Otherwise, like you said, if you don't do it now, you're going to be, doing it later, trying to keep yourself alive.
Yeah, it's a conscious thing that I have now. Like, obviously, I'm not saying, like, I would eat anything, but when I'm out buying for my daughter, it's a completely different thing. It's like, what am I, I'm supposed to be there to protect her and give her the best that I can give. And if I'm buying fucking junk, now she doesn't eat junk food, but the other day I went to peel a banana and I went to break it in half and the thing fucking bent in the U. Just bent like that. Didn't break. And I'm like, what is that? And why? It's a banana. So, like, what's being pumped into it? Where is it coming from?
Yeah,
that's a trend on the internet right now. People are trying to burn fruit and everything, and it won't burn. And
there's a lot of, not to throw any names out there, but a lot of people that are involved with, vaccines and things like that. Drug companies also are heavily involved with the food.
With the food, yeah. Well, that's the thing with Trump now. You've got the FDA, and then you've got
I hope so.
What's his name?
Robert Kennedy.
Yeah. He's coming in. I'm going to shake them all up, and
that shouldn't be like a super hard topic for Americans. Like, hey, we don't want you to be poisoned anymore, and to have more say in what actually goes in your body, with proof to back it up. I think most people, hopefully by now, can see the difference in food, and it's hard because people are raised different, and what you know. So for some people, that you don't know any different. I grew up eating a lot of processed food, cereals, and all kinds of stuff because I did grow up a little poor, and we had food stamps and stuff like that. So it was whatever.
Take what you get.
Take what you can get.
Well, it's like the worst food is the cheapest.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. There's a reason why, a bottle of Coke is cheaper than a bottle of water.
Yep.
And like you said, with the food companies and stuff, you've got the healthcare system, the insurance, the food companies, the tobacco companies. There's no money if everybody's
healthy. Those are two of the same. When tobacco realized that they lost some power, they started taking over the food companies and getting people addicted that way. That's another rabbit hole we can go down later. But back to you. Sleep first, then nutrition. As far as eating healthy, real food, that's super important. And then baby steps when it comes to working out again. Start off slow, and eventually set small goals. And once we start knocking those out, then we can load up again and move on, adjust to where your body's at. I like to start with making your skeleton strong. Your body's made up of 3 systems: your skeletal, your muscular, and your nervous system. So if your joints are strong and your spine is strong, then the rest of your body's going to be ready to go. So that's kind of where I'm going to start with you doing a lot of body weight stuff. Stuff that will seem hard.
Core system, right?
Your core, everything. Your core, your joints, your balance, flexibility. That's huge. Being the more flexible you are, usually the stronger you are, and the stronger your joints are. So that's kind of where we'll start at.
So this week we'll go and we'll do that measurement. We'll figure it out so we have a starting point. But what do you think for somebody? Now, I'm not going to say I'm fit. I'm not fit anymore. So let's just say I'm at 0. So there's people out there that are probably watching this that are going, like me, going, I want to do that. I want to start. But again, it's baby steps. So what is, say you don't have a gym, because when we talked before, obviously I have access to a gym. I like going and doing my swimming and all of that kind of stuff. But I also told you that I want to be able to just get in workouts when I can, be it at home, out the backyard, in the room, down outside the back of the business here, or whatever it is. So, like, if there's somebody out there watching that wants to get up off the couch and just start, what would you suggest?
I would start right there. Start moving. Get up off the couch, start moving, start walking. If you can walk, start walking. And then start with body stuff. If you can't hold yourself on the ground, there's a lot of exercises online you can find for body workouts, at different levels of fitness, right? So if you can't hold yourself on the ground, do stuff against the wall. Start there. You start in a chair. Whatever is not overwhelming for you, because that's usually where people, they just want to jump into it, and then they get overwhelmed, their body's too sore, they can't keep up that pace, and then they stop. Wherever you are comfortable, really, with your body, start there. I prefer a lot of body holds, planks, a lot of plank variations, any kind of yoga. Yoga's great. And then just walking and really focusing on your diet. Focusing on your diet and moving is probably the best start. 2 things that you don't need a gym to do. You can kind of start at any point of your fitness. And then water intake too. Man, water is so important for your body to function normally, right? So just for your body to do the normal things it's supposed to do, move the vitamins, nutrients, for your blood to work properly. The recommendation, I believe, is half of your body weight in ounces. So, all right, I'm about 200 pounds, so 100 ounces of water is what I should be drinking every day. That's like the minimum, and that is a tough habit to form for a lot of people. Most of the chronic issues people deal with is because they're not drinking enough water.
Yeah.
You know, water can help your liver, help, if you're suffering from diabetes, things like that. So many different illnesses that it's really lack of water. High blood pressure, lots of things. So water's super important.
That's the first thing I do when I get out of bed. I put the coffee pot on, and then I go and I punish 16 ounces of water. I've got like hydration mix, and then I take vitamins then as well before I get anything into me. I'm terrible with the water intake as well. If I was going to the gym and working out, well, then I'm naturally thirsty and I'm doing it, but I have to consciously go, okay, it's lunchtime, water. And then, why have I got a headache, or why do I feel weak in the day, or whatever, kind of woozy, and then I realize I haven't had enough water, or I maybe haven't. What?
Even having mood swings.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly, right. Yeah, man, it's crazy how many people don't drink enough water. Yeah.
So let's talk about a typical day. For instance, say tomorrow is Monday morning and I want to start off. And I'm free to go to the gym or do some workouts. So get up in the morning, have some water, get some natural sunlight.
Yep.
And then what? Go to the gym early? Eat something before the gym? Because that's sometimes I feel that I don't feel like eating in the morning. I sometimes do a shake and I have supplements and things like that. But then when I go to the gym, either I'm stuffed, and if I don't have the shake, well then I work out and then I'm weak.
Yeah.
So what would you suggest?
It's not necessarily important when you eat. It's what you eat, right? You're breaking that fast. Breakfast. You're breaking that fast from the night before, right? So when you do that, typically, I prefer to have protein and good fats. So any kind of meat. I mean, I usually have bacon or sausage with scrambled eggs and sourdough and avocado toast.
When I love avocado toast. First, that's my thing. That's my jam.
As long as it's on, sourdough. I do recommend sourdough because it helps with your stomach, with your gut. It has microbes in it that I may be using the term wrong. So I'm not a scientist or a doctor.
So
but
a buddy of mine,
it is good for you,
is making sourdough. That's what we have. Shout out to John and his sour skull sourdough. He makes them in a cast of a skull.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So he's a good friend. Every single week, then he's bringing in sourdough. So I do like sourdough. He's got the mix down. I do a little bit of egg and then avocado and then everything seasoning on the top.
Mm-hmm.
The whole thing is, though, too, is time. It's like, do you have time to make it?
Yeah.
So say I go and have breakfast, then I go to the gym. What am I looking at? What would you suggest?
Typically, I start with the warm up. I don't really. If we are gonna stretch a little bit, it'll be what's the word I'm looking for here? Oh my goodness, drawing a blank. Stretching with moving. So we're not staying still and laying down and stretching. We're kind of moving around.
Loosening up.
stretching, because you don't really want to overstretch before you start working out. You don't want your muscles really flexy before you start getting them pumped up and hard. So a light warm up, usually whatever muscle group we're going to be doing, the warm up kind of reflects that, just to get you built up for that. And then 30, 45 minutes of weightlifting or body work, kettlebells or something like that. The TRX ropes are really good. And then like a 5-minute cool down. Again, with something similar to what you were doing. So for me, like if I'm doing a push day, if I'm doing an upper body, chest or tris or shoulders, I like to get on the fan bike, the assault bikes, and not use my feet, but just use my arms and get my arms worked up. About 10 minutes, and then I'll go do my push exercise. And then what if I'm doing legs? I'll get on the elliptical or the Stairmaster, something like that. Same thing. When I'm doing back, I'll get on the rower machine and get my back warmed up that way, and then start into whatever exercise.
Do you swim?
I don't. It's too hard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I just never been. I am a good swimmer, but I don't know. I've never gotten to swimming at the gym.
Yeah, that's the draw the draw for me at that gym is that's why I'm.
Yeah, they have awesome.
I love
awesome
the pool and stuff, but So yeah, do you do? If I was going to go lifting, would that be a different day than doing the elliptical or doing cardio or treadmill?
Well, yeah, if you're going to do, I usually have just a hard cardio day, and for me, that's like an 8-mile run. That's kind of where I'm at right now, but for you, it might be different, might be...
Does Eminem go on that run with you? Ding, 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 ding. Your 8-mile run.
My 8-mile, yeah. Never really gotten to Eminem. I'm more of a Green Day... rancid kind of guy.
And you're rocking the drums. You were rocking here the other day when your son was in, and the guitar. You were in singing to your son, and he was telling you to be quiet.
I'm like a D+, C- musician-ish kind of person.
Yeah, well, we'll trade. I'll give you lessons, and you can give me.
I appreciate it.
There we go. Barter.
That's
barter with the bear.
Sounds good for me.
So just let me interrupt you here. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we'll come back, and then we'll get into the rest of the regime, all right?
Sounds good.
Back in 2 minutes. All right. This episode is brought to you by Generate Designs. They are the masters at custom printing, engraving, and etching. They do our beautiful mugs, and they etched onto this stone for the podcast. They've done all the stickers and vinyl and anything that goes with it for this podcast. So they do apparel, they do keepsake boxes, mugs, keychains, and basically anything. If you can think it and you want to print it onto something, they would print it for you. So let's just say this: if you wanted a picture of your family printed on a nice little mug so you can enjoy your morning tea or morning coffee, they would do that for you. If you wanted a picture of your wife's breasts printed onto a polished stone, I'm sure they could figure that out for you too. They don't have any order limit, so you can order one or you can order 1 million. There is no limit. The more that you order, the cheaper it's going to be in the long run. They offer international shipping, so there's nowhere in this planet that they will not get you your merchandise. You could be stuck at the side of the road in a snowstorm in Norway, and they will get that polished stone to you. You could be at the top of the Himalayas in a deep meditative state, getting a reach around from a Buddhist monk. If that's what you're into, they will make sure that you get that keychain of your family or the mug that you ordered sent to you right there. Use the code BEARBANTER for 20% off all your orders from them. And that's BEARBANTER for 20% off. We should be putting all the information at the bottom of the screen right now. So check out Generate Designs and tell them Stevie sent you. And we're back.
All right.
We're back. Did you have a nice pee?
I did.
Did you have a nice poo?
Solid, pretty clear, which is good.
Great.
Yeah, feel good.
Awesome. Well, come here. Let's touch into supplements, things like that. Let's try and make a plan, because I at the moment I'm daily. I do a protein shake in the morning. I have celery powder goes into that, moringa, a greens blend, and then I just started about a week ago with a mushroom blend.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
So, things I take, pre-workout, I take something called Bucked Up. It's made here in America. It's a pretty good pre-workout. I do recommend getting a pre-workout since we're getting old and it helps.
It's just caffeine though, right?
This it's 200 milligrams of caffeine, but it has a bunch of other stuff in it too that helps with.
I just find when I was doing pre-workout, I'd feel like my face was itching.
Oh, you got to taper it back a little bit. This one doesn't really give you that feeling. I only do not even a full scoop, but it definitely helps with being focused and with that extra pump. And then protein, I always recommend like grass-fed animal protein. That's all natural, as natural as you can get. Collagen, if you can take some of that. Again, the same, a natural collagen that helps with your skin and your bones. And
this is all going into the same shake.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can put your scoop of collagen with your protein, and then I don't know if you've heard of.
What do you mean? So animal protein powder?
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Animal-based protein powder.
Okay, so not plant-based.
No, I mean, I personally don't recommend that. I like to stick with the animal-based, all-natural protein, and then. Mushrooms are good. If you have, how do you pronounce it? Shilajit. It's found in the Himalayas. It's like this goo that grows in the Himalayas, and it's really good for boosting your testosterone and overall strength, mental focus. That's another supplement I take. I'll get you a list of some of these things too that I can't.
So if you get us the list, maybe we could put this up around now on the screen. Yeah. So hopefully, if you're watching at home, you're watching this list of stuff that Chris is going to give me.
Yep. And then I do recommend for anyone that's really starting their fitness journey. So do a good detox. Get your body cleaned as much as you can, feeling as good as you can before you start, because you don't want to be feeling crappy and trying to stay focused on working out. So, start off slow, do a 7-day detox, and then, good protein, collagen, there's lots of different mushroom supplements out there that are really good for you. I take something called Paragard. It's a anti-parasitical liquid. It's in liquid form. You can do a 10-day cycle, or you can do a 30-day cycle. Just depends on where you're at. How much you think you need. I definitely recommend starting with the 10 days, and just be prepared to, make sure you're close to a bathroom when you start your detoxes. because you will get flushed out pretty quick, and that's good. You know, a lot of people carry around extra poo in them that is, you know, affecting your health. It's not good for you to keep all that's toxins just sitting in your body. So yeah, start off with those and there's another protein. It's a veggie mix. It's called it's by Brickworks. Shout out to them, and it's called Field of Greens, I believe, and it's a super concentrated veggie mix that you just a scoop of that you can throw in your protein. I've been taking that the last month, and I feel such a difference in my overall energy and strength, because it is hard to get all the vegetables in, you know, in the day that you're
is that a green blend?
Yeah, it's
the same as kind of like AG1 kind of stuff, is it?
It's a green blend. It's made here in America. Brick House, I believe, is the name of the company. So yeah, you know, get your veggies in any way you can. You know, if you're good at eating them, great. You know, like I said before, eat the ones you like. You know, makes it a little easier. But if you need to supplement it, try to get a high concentrate, good. You know, do a little research and make sure you're getting it good.
What do you think? They say 5 a day between fruit and veg, right?
Yeah, about I think 2 servings of fruit, and then 3 servings out of vegetables. You know, that could be a cup.
So portion sizes is another thing, right? Obviously, because like I think, oh, if I'm eating a salad, I can eat a fucking trough of salad, but it's still
portion. Yeah, you gotta. So calorie intake. So that was another thing I wanted to touch on. So there's this app. It's called MyFitnessPal.
I've got it
by Under Armour.
Yep.
It's super helpful. I used it for a long time until I got
comfortable and into the habits.
Until I got into a habit. Yeah.
I was using it for a while, but I was counting calories, you know. Now, if that doesn't suit you, you're out in the go and stuff. It's a really good app because it's also got a barcode, so you can scan the barcode, and then you don't have to add any information into it. But like, you need to be using it like that. It's got water intake. It's had it hooked up to the watch.
You can adjust your protein, your fat, and your carbs on there to, you know, what you want. And it'll give you, you know, how much of that you're eating, if you're meeting your goals by the end of the day. Back to the calories, you know, it really does come down to that, you know, because that's your energy in, energy out.
So for a typical male in their 30s, you're looking at what, about 2,500?
Yeah, they say 2,000 is your. You know,
so would you be calories, or would you still hit that number, but just of better calories? Because obviously working out and things like that, you're going to need your energy and calories.
You know, we kind of do in the fitness field, kind of adjust your calories to the weight you want to be at. So 2,000 calories is typical for a 200-pound man. Right, that's if you want to, that should be what your overall intake is, right? You want to be 180 pounds, 1,800 calories, right? So for you, you know, if you're saying, you know, around 240, you know, we hopefully in the next 6 weeks we can drop at least 20 pounds. So I would start at no more than 2,200 calories, you know, a day. And if you're burning more, then great, you know, but don't take in more than that. And what you are taking in, try to make sure it's high nutrient, you know, dense food that you're putting in your body, because we are what we eat, you know, we really are. And that it goes a long way. Just, it's the hardest thing is getting your nutrition, but once you do, you know, like I said before, about once you build those habits, going to the gym, you're not in the gym, you feel horrible. Once you start building those habits for eating healthy, you don't want to eat shit food. You know, you really don't. And when you do, your body lets you know, man, we don't eat this crap. You know, your body will let you know. You'll feel sick. You know, might throw up, might shit your pants. You know.
Yeah, I definitely felt like that when I was, you know, eating right and running and training and stuff like that. Because then, you know, you do all of this work, and then the thought of a fast food or a burger, you know, repulse you. You know, you may just feel sick, but it's a big mental thing, you know. One of my favorite sports people is Ronnie O'Sullivan. He's a snooker player, which is a highly mental game, like pool, but on a huge table and stuff. But he's the greatest ever to do it. He was addicted to all sorts of stuff too, and then a sports psychologist that worked with Tom Brady and OJ and whoever it was, Michael Jordan, whoever, all these guys. He was basically saying that it's the reframing of things. So Ronnie O'Sullivan started running, and even though he didn't want to do it, it was the mental hurdle of all the choices that you come across. Do you want to have that cigarette, or do you want to have that drink, or do you want to go out partying? And in his mind, he would never give himself that choice. It was always, oh well, of course I'm not going to do that because I'm a runner now. And that's when I was training. That's exactly what I took from that. I'm like, I'm not going to eat that because you know, I'm a swimmer now, or I'm a boxer now, or whatever I was doing. I'm a runner now. Another good thing, my brother as well, my younger brother, he's doing really well at the moment. He's training and he's out for his runs and all of that stuff. So I'm super proud of him. But he had told me too that he follows somebody, and the hardest part of going to the gym is getting to the gym. Oh. So he would make it his business just to go with his gear and touch the inside wall of the changing rooms. And I've done that a few times. I'm just like, you know what? I'm not really going to work out today. I'm not going to swim, not going to anything. And then when you get there and you touch the inside of the wall, you're already there, and you're like, all right, great, I'm here. Let's go and work out. So I do believe it's a framing of things. And I use that quite a bit with different things in my life moving forward. You don't give yourself that will I or won't I, or the hesitance of will I do it. It's just like, oh well, this is what I do now. There's no ifs or buts. Yep. So I'm glad I'm going to train with you. I'm going to be held accountable. We're going to get back on here in a few weeks and see how everything's going. And then obviously see if it's working. And I'll be honest, because you know I've nothing to hide. Whether I'm doing it right, well, the numbers will speak for themselves. Yeah. So we do the measurement this week before I start anything. Excuse me. And then, what do you think? 6 weeks?
6 weeks is what I feel like it takes to really see some changes. You know, and to build those habits that will start sticking with you. So yeah, 6 week cycle. You know, we'll do the in-body to get all of your data from your body as far as weight, muscle mass, fat, and then I'll tape you too. We'll get out the tape and we'll do your arms and your waist and your chest and your legs.
There's only one thing you're not allowed to measure because
we'll keep that
that's
between us. I don't have a tape measure that small anyways.
No, that all sounds great, man. And so if somebody wanted to get in contact with you, you've got an email and somewhere where they can get in contact, maybe ask you advice, do a consultation.
Yeah. I'm definitely down to help anybody that really wants help. garagegrunt@yahoo.com is the email I use for fitness
Great.
stuff.
We'll put it up on the screen as well. And if anybody, obviously they're probably going to want to see results from me, so that's down to me as well. So
and that'll be on you. I don't do social media, so whatever postings go on, definitely put it on yours. And
well, maybe we can our media team here can help you do something like that. Put together some social media just for your garage grunt.
yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah.
No, because it's great.
big
That's
into tech.
in the world of social media these days. A lot of it is now, the fitness, and there's people out there that are just taking pictures of themselves in the gym. I was never that.
There's a lot of cheaters too.
Yeah,
out there.
cheaters. Who was it that said it's and you said it already today, but it's the work that you put in when nobody's watching.
Exactly.
That's the most important work, and
I do take pride in being pretty natural. I don't over supplement. I try to eat my vitamins. I try to eat as healthy as I can. I do take pre-workout and protein, but I don't take. I've never taken steroids. None of that stuff. Because I think it does more damage than it does good. And even I know we've talked about this, off camera, but even with getting your testosterone levels back up, there's a lot of natural ways that can help with that. Before you go to a doctor and have to, start getting that shot, it's best to hold off on that as long as possible, because once that starts happening, then your body's always going to need it,
yeah.
And so, so two apps, the MyFitnessPal, and then there's an app called Yuka, Yuka, and it's a food app that you can go into the grocery store, whatever you're about to buy, you scan it, and it'll tell you how good it is for you, exactly what's in it, and it's another really good. That app's free, and it's a really good app to help you navigate the grocery store, which is
Yeah, I'll
tough
definitely
sometimes.
download that, and then I'll get back on the MyFitnessPal as well. So, one last thing. So, like, one of my, how would I say, weaknesses is the quick snacks. So if you're out during the day, not the meal, if we're not sitting down for lunch or breakfast or dinner or anything like that, what's something that you can be eating that will keep your energy levels up at least until you get home, or you get sitting for that meal?
That's a tough one. I always recommend nuts, any kind of nuts.
I bet you do.
Especially the dark ones.
You won't find any dark nuts around me. That's for sure.
So any kind of nuts, and again, nature, and in my opinion, God is awesome, because everything is made for a certain part of your body, right? Almonds are good for your pineal gland. Walnuts are good for your brain. That looks like a brain cut in half. Tomatoes look like the chamber of your heart. We're so connected and have been disconnected, I think on purpose, from the food we eat, because it does have it's what we're supposed to be doing. So as far as snacks, good cheese, I think is always a good, a good protein.
So good cheese,
good
mozzarella.
good fat.
What kind of cheese do you think? I love cheese.
Just whatever's not super processed. Whatever cheese you like is just look at the fat content, the protein, and make sure it's not pumped full of a bunch of crap.
And Zucca would help with that, obviously, right?
Yeah, Yuka, Yuka. Yeah, it'll definitely help with that. Easy vegetables, like I love cucumbers with some sea salt and pepper. That's another great snack. I love cherry tomatoes, little things like that. Yeah, or just having some ground beef around, already cooked up, some ground beef, and a taco without the rest. Maybe a little portion of ground beef and some onions and tomatoes, cilantro. Cilantro's awesome for you.
No. Right, we can end that there.
No cilantro.
I can't do cilantro. It tastes like fucking soap to me.
It's
a
so
genetic
good
thing
for you, though.
Yeah, but it's not good for me. It tastes like soap.
You gotta plug your nose.
No, I
shove
can.
it in there.
Me and my wife go back and forth because she tries
So
to hide cilantro and things and seasoning, and I'm like, it's not that I just choose not to eat it. It tastes like soap. I don't know, and a lot of Irish people too, it tastes like soap. It's
That is a genetic thing. It really is.
I can't do cilantro. So that won't be going into
hard-boiled eggs too. Having hard-boiled eggs.
Yeah, I do like eggs.
I love eggs. It is one
Eat
of
a lot
the
of
best foods for you, man. As far as protein and
would you say it's
good fat?
Excellent.
It's definitely excellent. Yeah. Muy bien.
Gracias. So yeah, anything else you want to say before we go?
No, I'm just looking forward to this, man. I'm really, my heart's in it. I can't wait to see the difference.
Thank you. I hope I don't let you down, and I say that with all sincerity because I'm going to try my hardest.
You won't.
And I appreciate you, man. Great to have you on. Love you and your family, and thanks for everything.
You too. You're welcome, brother. This has been great.
All right. Thanks. Take it easy, guys. See you in the next show.